I'm heading down the trail, heading to Blair Gap Run. Heard a lot of good things about this creek. Wild trout, brook trout, brown trout. I'm looking at it right now, and I'm thinking this is gonna be fun. I have an assortment of lures that I want to use. I'm gonna start off with the lightning shad because I've been having so much luck off of that lately, and I just really like this lure. And then I brought along the standard, the trout magnets, and I brought along the sexy tail shad. Might throw one of those on. First cast, and I just lost a trout. I lost the fish, but I had a fish on with the lightning shad. It's gonna be good. So I'm making my way up through, and I don't know if you can tell on video, but like the current it's undercutting the bank. Where there's tree roots and just like rocks and stuff hanging out. And like that tree right there is ready to fall over. So that tree right there is ready to fall over, so this probably might not be the best place for me to be standing. But they call that a widowmaker. But I'm gonna try and fish. I'm trying to get my lure underneath this bank where it's been cut out. And you know that there has to be a fish in there. So I will tell you that if you decide to come and fish Blair Gap Run, make sure you set yourself up with like lots of extra tackle, like right at your fingertips, because you're going to need it. I've gotten a lot of snags already and probably lost already a few lures, and I've only been fishing for about an hour. But I guess it gave me the opportunity to go ahead and put on a trout magnet. So I'm going to play with this trout magnet for a little while and see how it does compared to the lightning shad. I lost the trout magnet already, so I'm switching to the sexy tail. I just missed trout number 2. Are they like not committing, or what's going on? Got him! Oh, got my first trout of the day. Come on, brownie. Yeah! You see that, brownie? It's a small one, but man, oh man. I like this creek. Look at this trout. Let's get you unhooked. Is that a wild trout? I got him unhooked and he swam away before I got to show the camera, but that's okay. These trout, they're delicate, so like I don't handle them like I do a bass. Lightning shad. Look at this. There's a nice big pool here. Probably about 100 feet or so. Lots of logs and some undercut banks and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and fish down this if I can. I'm not gonna lie to you, this is getting harder and harder to fish because there's so much canopy and trees and just so much going on down here in vegetation. It's getting tough. Like a little fall fish. Okay, everybody. Whew, what a day of fishing. I want to do a wrap up of my latest adventure in wild trout fishing. And I brought Mr. Birddog out with me because he needs some water time. He loves to swim, so I wanted to get him in the water, get him some swimming time. He's been neglected. Come here, Sam. Come on. So I just wanted to go over what I think was a really good day for me. And other people might think that this wasn't a good day, but I ended up catching, I was out on Blair Gap Run. First time I was ever there. I'm really not like real knowledgeable about fishing wild trout. And anyway, what happened was I went out there and I ended up catching one wild brown trout. I think it was a wild brown trout because they don't really stock that section of it. As far as I know, they don't stock that. And even if it was a stalker, it probably still wouldn't be there at this time of year. This is Labor Day weekend, so I think it was a wild brown, and I missed 2 wild browns. Well, I'm thinking they were wild browns, but I think that was like a really good start for me. I had a really good time. Like, it was a pretty good day. I explored the creek. I talked to a few of the locals and found out like which areas I'm allowed to fish and which I can't. And it's really like opened up some doors for some new fishing in that area. It's a very beautiful creek. And it's just so awesome knowing that we have those kinds of fishing opportunities here in central Pennsylvania. Altoona, Clearfield, in that area. And most people don't know that that even exists. So what I used was the Sexy Tail Shad. It didn't get me anything. Then I used a trout magnet, didn't get me anything because like on my second cast I snagged it. And then pretty much the rest of the day I used a 2-inch lightning shad, which has been kind of like my go-to bait for this time of year. So that's a 2-inch lightning shad, and that's what I caught my fish off of. I had a really good time, and I used this ultralight fishing rod, Okuma, and it's an Okuma Safina. It's not a good rod. I paid $30 for this, so it's not like as if it's an expensive rod or anything. But that's what I did today, and I had a really, really super good time. And this is like kind of like, for me, this is like the beginning. I'm watching out for my dog. This is kind of like the beginning for me as far as like learning how to fish wild trout. Yeah, so that's it for me today. I don't know where my next video is going to come from. I don't know if I'm going to be doing a bass fishing video, or the way things are going, I could be doing another wild trout fishing video because I have these wild trout streams all around me here in Pennsylvania, and it's turning out to be a lot of fun. I might have to have a fly rod in my future. Just throwing that hint out there for everybody. But that's it for me, and I'm gonna do a little bit of fishing and try to catch a fish for Mr. Birddog. And I think he's ready to go for a swim. So I'm Darren, and you've been watching my YouTube channel, Fishing Small Waters. See you next time. You helping Daddy fish? Huh? You gonna help Daddy catch some fish? Thank you. Come on. Hey, come on. Sim, come. Time to get out. Let's go. Come on. Come. Come. You can't come up this way, you know that. There's no steps here. Even if there were, you couldn't come up the steps. Come on. Go that way.